Alright, hey everyone, welcome to another Will to Witch RP live play TTRPG session. What is Will to Witch RP? Well, that's me, Faye, game master and storyteller, and Lachlan, our writer and producer. We are a couple who love sharing stories, so much so that we quit our day jobs and created our own company. So that way we could create exciting, high quality TTRPG experiences full time and share them with you. And tonight, we're playing D&D. This session features a Mortal Guardians side quest that takes our brave heroes on an exciting adventure out into the world of Velinara, and perhaps beyond. With us at the table are several of the incredible players who have joined us on our grand endeavor. If you'd like to play alongside them, you're more than welcome to join us. You can ask in chat or hop over to our Discord to find out more information. Now, speaking of our awesome players, it's time for introductions. Like I said, I'm Faye, game master and storyteller, and with me is Sirenscape, bringing all of our background music and sound effects. It's a fantastic and affordable sound collection you can find at sirenscape.com. And now, we get to meet our courageous, daring heroes before they embark on another exciting tale of magic and wonder. And we'll begin with an introduction for Seraphina.
Hello, everyone. My name is Connor, and I am playing Seraphina, a Winter Eladrin sorcerer warlock who has an affinity for the moon and the cold, and is a wielder of a Lunathorn staff.
My goodness, stream chat already getting out of hand. I love it. We love that. Next up for our introductions, let's learn about Verity.
Hi, I'm Kelsey. I'm playing Verity. She is a changeling warlock with a very special patron. It's Deadeye.
Amazing. Next up for our introductions, let's learn about Nahara.
Hi, I'm Rudian. I'm playing Nahara, who is a tiefling wizard. Um, she's actually here on to help out her friend Seraphina, and we all hope not to die.
Well, I'll just let you keep on to that hope. Uh, Next up for our introductions, let's learn of Evandel.
Hey, I'm Cable. I'm playing Evandel. Evandel's a high elf culture swords bard. He's just along for the ride, maybe writing a song or two, sing their praises, and he absolutely secretly hopes that they all die.
Well, I'll just say the same thing that I said. I'll let you keep on to that hope. Uh, but with that, our introductions are covered.
He doesn't write songs. I lied.
It's the one thing that he does is lie. But we'll dive into our session here. An ancient, envious, feminine form, shrouded in shadow, hovers before a lingering portal. A gateway to a realm of moonlit wonder and generous benevolence. She shudders in disgust and closes her eyes. And Vatriel, the lady profane of Infeligos, turns away and drifts to her throne of black marble and cascading poison, where she acquires a baton of blackened, unadulterated malice. Invoking the power of the veils, she twists and withers a hideously formed monstrosity, manifesting it in her own image and dispatching it through the portal. Lurching, cackling, the creature traverses the space between the realms until it emerges in a cloud of noxious vapor amidst a once thriving magical grove. the avatar whispers a call, soft and tremulous, through the air of this unspoiled place. It flows through the rending air currents until it arrives at the ears of Alara Moonshadow. And Vatriel bids her disciple to press upon the roots of the Lunar Sovereign's heart, the very tree that is its seat of power and the wellspring of its life. Moonshadow, followed by several other devoted servants, devilish creatures, press upon the roots of the great tree. Darkness spreads over the realm, the Nightvine Bastion, like a slinking, infectious fog, shrouding the landscape in desolate decay. Seraphina, you stand amongst your friends. You have saved the soul of a fellow servant of the Lunar Sovereign, as well as your own lunar thorn tree. But your victory seems a little short-lived. It's not just Seraphina and Cylindra, but all of you feel the ethereal cries of pain. An entity calls out for help as devilish corruption begins to spread over the land. And the lunar light, the Nightvine Bastion, is beginning to fade. Would anyone like to roll for me either Insight or Arcana? Seraphina seems a little affected by whatever is happening here.
God damn it.
Verity, Nahara, Avondale. Moonshadow must be using the devil's power to infect that giant heart at the center, the giant tree at the heart of the bastion. Unless she is stopped, the entire domain will likely fall to Vatriel. And perhaps the Lunar Sovereign, who is at the head and heart of this domain, could be no more.
I shared that with Seraphina very dramatically and ominously.
I like that you emphasize dramatically. dramatically.
Would you like to
Thank
roll a
It's
performance
Nahara.
check?
Nahara, of course, it's dramatic.
Oh, 17. That's
It
good
is
for me.
very dramatic, very theatrical, I would say.
Seraphina takes a breath for a second and says, she's tried so hard to beat me. She hasn't, so she's going after something that directly affects me and everyone else here. And I can't let that happen.
We're with you, Seraphina.
You would notice a shift in the realm here, all of you. People begin to emerge from groves. Servants of the Sovereign. Servants like Seraphina and Cylindra carrying Lunarthorn staves. In multitude, they begin to rush towards the great tree to defend the Sovereign.
Sweet.
What do you do, mortal guardians?
I cast 9th level fireball. I am kidding.
Oh my goodness.
So, Nahara, you are the downfall of the Lunar Sovereign.
As he's looking towards the tree, he'll reach out with his spell gem and cast Foresight on Seraphina.
Thank you, Cable.
Don't thank me. Thank Everdell.
Thank you, Evandel.
Just gonna inflate his ego.
It's best if we don't mention this.
So, Serafina has foresight now.
Yeah, don't drag us down anymore.
Do you rush towards the great tree?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
please.
I will
Mhm.
also cast foresight on myself.
I'll follow Serafina.
So,
I feel like whoever's doing this would have been prepared for everyone to rush towards the great tree.
Serafina, Verity, Nahara, Evandel, Elias, Cylindra, you along with countless other followers. Make your way forward.
Oh. I did do one quick thing. I cast mage armor on myself.
As you weave spells of blessings and protection around you, you begin to notice a smoky mist in front of you, beginning to
I didn't do it!
coalesce, beginning to rise, swirling to block your path. And you see within it a dark, hideous figure. A creation devilishly imagined of twisted wood and rotten sinew. And as it steps and holds the ground, we're rolling initiatives.
Heck yeah.
Did you say that was a tree or demon?
It's devilish first, which is different than a demon.
God, read a book, Nahara.
Alright.
Listen, old man.
But it is of both wood and sinew. So read into that however you wish.
No.
If it isn't a bunch of innocents for her to raise and make her slave, she doesn't know what it is.
She's not a necromancer
I
anymore.
changed it to. Yeah, I changed to evocation, babe.
It's very disappointing.
Sissy.
I should probably change my dice to have a better feel for the vibe of this session.
Yeah.
I might do that. So it'll be Nahara, and then after Nahara, Evandel. After Evandel, Serafina. Verity. And whatever our entity is. So, Nahara, first to act, what would you like to do?
Well, Alex, I would like to go ahead and. No, just kidding. Can you go ahead and ask it to make me a con save of 24 as I cast Blight at 6th level?
Great. So, while this thing is made of wood, it is not technically a plant, so it doesn't get that full damage. But it will, I'm pretty sure, fail with a 19.
Great. Thank you.
Anything else from Nahara?
No, that's it.
Um, Yes, I go next. That is correct. Okay, how about let's BS. He's going to use an action, put his hand to his chest, and a thin layer of light will fall over his armor. And then, if I can, I'll move into contact with the great beast.
All right, so you close that the 30 feet of distance. As you enter in, you are surrounded by a noxious and sickening, draining aura. No effect currently, but do be aware that there's something here.
Can he call out?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, there's some sort of aura to the others.
All right. Then it is Seraphina's turn.
I will go ahead and strike this thing with a ray of frost.
Go for it.
That is, I can't tell what that is. Move dice. That is a 25 to hit.
Yeah, 25 will hit.
Add the 3 to that. That is 21 points of cold damage.
Cool.
That is it for me.
Alrighty. Verity, it is your turn.
It has an aura around it.
It does seem to have an aura around it.
Is that something that can be dispelled?
You could try.
Yeah, sure. Let's try that. We'll dispel magic.
So, let me just read up on something real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So as you try to dispel the magic, there's not really a wavering here. The aura is not created by a spell.
Okay. I will show that it cannot be dispelled.
Alright, anything else from Verity?
Do you have anything for bonus action? No, that's it.
Alright. It is our entity's turn. And at the start of the turn, Evandel, because you are right there, you get the best view of this. A sickening, almost suction of vitality from the roots. You all hear the cracking of the wood and the stretch of the sinew as this thing seems to heal all the damage that it took.
Oh.
And that's just at the start of its turn. Evandel, you are right next to it. And as you are standing there, you watch as its eyes turn to you.
Hey, guy.
I would like a charisma saving throw, please.
What the? Didn't count. No one heard it.
Alright. So 31, that is a success, but followed after the gaze is the slam of this thing's arm down upon you.
Bro. Is that your buddies?
That is a 28.
Yeah, that hits.
That will be 20 points of bludgeoning damage and 7 points necrotic.
Okay. I'm going to use a reaction to have that.
Okay.
And it'll take 14 radiant. Or not 14, 45 radiant.
45 radiant. Good to know.
As his armor flares up.
Alright. Nahara,
Where are you going here?
we will come to your turn.
I would like to cast haste on myself. And can I try to figure out what we can do to stop it from healing?
Yeah, that would be an action.
Yeah, absolutely.
Roll an
That would be my
intelligence
hasted
check.
action and intelligence check. Oh my god. Okay, thanks.
You could kill it, that would stop it from healing.
Wise words.
Evandel, it is your turn. At the start of your turn, go ahead, roll for me a Constitution saving throw.
Listen, you need to cool your
You're
jets
in
here.
the aura here. All right.
Cool.
So you'll take half damage. So instead of the 15 points necrotic damage, you take 7.
Okay.
All right. What would you like to do, Evandel?
Where was it? Where was it draining that vitality from?
From the roots that connect it to the ground. Like, its
Oh,
roots are
so I
dug
can't-
into the ground.
So it's not really important.
I mean,
All right. How can I stop that?
would you like to make a intelligence check?
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
You'd have to find some way to get its roots out of the ground, potentially.
Oh.
Which, with the size of this thing and the fact that it seems to fight back, might be easier said than done.
Okay, so I'll Evandel will call out to the others. It's pulling its vitality from the earth. We need to break the connection of its roots to the earth. And crap. Okay, so my action was the skill check, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm good for now.
Alright. Seraphina.
I would also like to make a check, but based upon what Evandel just said, is there a way we can try to get its roots out of the ground?
Roll for me intelligence or insight.
Don't let me down, foresight. Uh,
All you're thinking of is, normal gardening, pulling weeds out, or, using a shovel to get a particularly heavy stump out of the ground. Verity. Or wait, Seraphina, any bonus actions on your turn?
no, that's it.
Verity, it is going to be your turn.
Great. Figuring things out. Good grief. Yeah, no, I'm gonna cast Crown of Stars. Just so we have that up for this. And we'll throw one as a bonus action. It's a 32 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
A 34 radiant.
Alright. Again, this thing takes a heavy amount of radiant damage. but Verity, as your turn comes to the end, again, there's the sound of the cracking of the bone and bark, the stretch of the sinew, and rippling as more vitality sucked up, and it regains all its missing HP. And I would like all of you to make for me a Constitution saving throw here.
Is that a magical or spell effect?
It is spell adjacent, so it would be magical, yes. So, unfortunately, Seraphina and Verity will fail, but Avondale and Nahara will succeed. As a breath of poison and noxious gas is released from this creature. Oh, that's a lot of dice. I like seeing that. On a failed save, you are looking at 80 points of poison damage. Half as much on a successful one.
Thank God I'm resistant, but 80 is a lot.
It is a lot. Nahara,
Connor, are you breathing?
I'm barely breathing.
Nahara,
Yes, just checking. Yeah.
it's your turn. And I believe because you took damage, I need a Constitution saving throw.
Come on, Warcaster. Natural 20 for
You're
25.
Fine. What would you like to do?
I would like to see if I can damage the ground where the roots are at, if that would actually stop it. I mean, if that would, just, stop the thingamajig.
How do you want to do that?
By rolling an intelligence check on my regular action, that's 14.
I mean, it could work, but you don't know how deep the roots go.
Okay, for my hasted action, I'm going to go ahead and cast Chain Lightning at 6th level, right at the roots, like where it meets the base of the trunk by the ground.
So, Chain Lightning, there are no other targets. Like, the roots are still technically a single target.
Can I say, okay. Do I have anything that would... I mean, I guess... Okay, how about 6th level disintegrate on the bottom of that thing where the roots are?
Sure, you could try that.
Okay. Dex 24?
Well, that fails with an 18.
Okay, 72 points. Does that stop it?
I mean, the creature still stands there.
But does it look like the roots are damaged?
I mean, we'll find out, won't we?
Okay, end of turn.
Evandel.
Come here.
What would you like to do?
Do I need to make a save at the beginning of my turn?
Oh, yes, at the start of your turn, you do need to make a save, Constitution save.
Right. Oh, shit.
Ooh. Unfortunately, that is a failure. And as you feel that pulsing of the necrosis continue forward, that's going to be, I'm rolling so bad on this one, 16 points necrotic damage.
Ouch, okay. Okay. Man, I don't want to do it, but I feel since everyone's kind of spinning their wheels, maybe I need to spin my wheels. Yeah, okay. Let's can I try to oh, can I plane shift a tree man? Is that even a thing? Let me see. A creature. Can I plane shift the creature?
You can try.
Yeah, we'll try.
So, let me just look at something here real quick.
Yeah.
So, go ahead, make that spell attack.
Oh no, I have to make a spell attack.
You choose a creature and make a spell attack, and on a hit,
Nice,
it makes
okay.
the saving throw.
Why didn't I roll? Roll? There we are. Oh,
Okay. So, two things
uh-oh.
happen here. You hit, but on a hit, you feel the sort of pulsating energy that wraps around this creature reverberate back to you.
Isn't
Hey.
Oh
that
my God.
fun?
You take 6 points of fire damage, and
Fire damage.
this is a devilish creature, and 12 points of necrotic damage in response to your melee spell attack hitting.
Ow. Okay.
The second thing that happens here is that as you feel the spell try to wrap around this creature and plane shift it, that you feel another force innumerably more powerful than yourself almost brush aside your attempt to disrupt something. It seems that this creature has connections to something much more powerful that may be aiding it.
Okay. How far back are my companions?
About 30 feet away from you.
Okay, so I'm gonna use a bonus action to teleport back to them.
Okay.
Um, breathing a little hard because he's a little messed up. He'll say, "The creature is bound to some greater being's ability, power, probably, you know, demonic, devilish, whichever one he was,
Devil.
devilish."
Alright. As Evandel returns back after that, Seraphina, it is your turn. You have heard this information. What would you like to do?
What would I like to do? Can I know it'll cost an action, but can I make a check on that information that Evandel told me?
Yeah, or roll for me intelligence or insight check.
Be good to me. 14.
There are very powerful devils out in the world. Some perhaps just slightly more powerful than you, but there are entities that rule the entirety of the hells. Anything could be in play here, really.
Okay.
Verity,
Yes.
It's your turn. What would you like to do?
Do I need a con save?
No, because you're not within 30 feet.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah,
Um,
the aura is only within 30 feet. You guys are right on the edge of
Okay.
it.
That's fine. Can we figure out how we can get him to move?
Would you like to roll an intelligence check?
Yeah, what could go wrong? 15.
You could push him.
Somebody push him! We're gonna send some healing to Seraphine.
Okay.
Yeah. 23.
Yeah, was that like max of your healing pool die? Or.
Yes, 86 at 1.
Damn!
Mhm.
Oof. Alright. As Verity's turn comes to an end, it is the twisted tree and sinew, this devilish entity, and Nahara. While you had damaged some of the roots, this thing stands on 2 feet like a man would. And one connection is enough. You all hear the same snap of bark, stretch of sinew as this thing seems to regenerate into its full health with whatever devilish entity seems to be aiding it from beyond, perhaps. Whatever is protecting it, empowering it. Nahara, we come to your turn. You feel yourself in a stalemate. What do you do?
Okay, how do we get it off from the ground? Oh, fudge sickle me. Gosh damn it. Okay.
With a 13, you're unsure. Everything that you're thinking of are the most basic of things, but that doesn't include something sentient. Something that can fight back. Maybe you need to start considering how to get away.
Okay, talk to me about true polymorph. What class rating can I go up to? Is it my level?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, people, anything that you can think of that can actually rip this thing, like, out of the ground? I'm looking at the list and I'm like,
I don't know if you want strength. You
What do
probably
you
want to
think?
look at a giant or something. Because this thing's big, right?
right.
Yeah, I'd
You
say this thing
think
is
giant
like
ape?
huge at least.
Yeah.
Okay, if I tried the... Oh. The storm giant? Does that seem... Okay, hold on. There's a storm giant. Sorry, this is taking a look. If I don't find it, I will... Okay. I would like to go ahead and do true polymorph and do myself into storm giant.
Right, so you're ending the
Descent.
concentration on haste?
Oh, motherfucker.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm ending it.
Great. So, as you take this larger form, you are immediately lethargic and will be like that until the end of your next turn. If I'm remembering, it's either beginning or next or end. I believe it's end.
Yeah, no problem.
Evandel,
Yeah.
it's your turn.
Okay. Let's
Stop it.
Yeah. you in haste. I, you know what? Let's try and force push this guy as a bonus action. He's gonna telepathically try and shove it. It has to make a strength saving throw DC 22.
Oh yeah, that's easily done. That's gonna be a
Yeah,
25.
I thought so. So why don't I just silvery barbs him and make him reroll it?
Okay.
And then I will give the advantage to Nahara. I don't think she had foresight.
Yeah, no, she doesn't have foresight.
Mhm.
But the second roll was a natural 20, so it's still a 25.
Yep. Okay. And then as an action, as an action, you know what? He's gonna not do an action. He's gonna call to Serafina and say, where would it have been summoned from? Or where would its power be channeled to it from? And that will be me.
Okay. Serafina, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I figure until we get the fruits out of the ground, there's not much I can do spell-wise. So I'm gonna make another check of what Evandel said. I just want to figure out a way to get these roots exposed and damage it somehow.
I'd say a Arcana or Religion check to answer what Vendel had said.
21.
This thing, whatever shape it takes, you're sure that it comes from the Hells. This is a devilish creation in its entirety. And if it is aided by something powerful, on the level that you are dealing with, it is likely an archdevil of some sort. Fighting this thing might take you out of it as you are now. You are likely going to survive better if you run and make a more tactical plan to advance and fight.
I'm gonna pass that along to the group.
Verity. As you hear Serafina's words, what do you do?
Could I look around for a place of safety?
Yeah. Go ahead, give me a perception check, I'd say.
Oh. How about a 9?
It's not safety that you see with a 9, but you do see an oddity.
Mm-hmm.
There is a, in the foliage nearby to you, a albino mole that is almost trying to get your attention.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you would see.
Okay. There's something this way. I'll start moving towards it.
Okay. It is our, as Verity begins to move towards it, it is our entity's turn. And I would like, let me just double check on how this works. So I believe I have to do attack roll and then you have to make a save. Oh, nope. If it hits, it'll just do. So, okay. So we're going to get 4 beams of dark energy that trail outwards. That is a 17 to hit Seraphina.
Shield goes up.
A 21 to hit Avondale.
Hits.
You are struck by a ray of enfeeblement. You deal half damage with weapons that use strength.
Oh, could I not have counterspelled that?
Would you want? You saw this thing sending this out.
You didn't say it was spellcasting.
4 tendrils of energy.
Right.
If you want to counterspell the one coming towards you, you can do that.
Sure.
All right. 19 to hit Nahara,
Miss.
and that's with the storm giant.
Uh,
Your true polymorph.
okay, here's my
use-
question. So if I was hasted and it was a concentration spell, would I drop it and then cast it? But if I dropped it, I'll be lethargic. So did I go
So
ahead
when
and
you-
cast it and then?
If you cast another concentration spell while you are concentrating on another one, that concentration ends, but you've already casted the second spell.
That's what I wanted to know. Then armor class is 12, so that does it.
Okay. You are now also under the, well, not also, you are under the effects of the enfeeblement. Any weapon attacks that utilize strength deal only half damage. And then the last one. is
Do I
going
take
at-
any damage?
Nope. You just can't do as
Okay.
much damage. That is a 22 to hit Verity.
Yeah.
And same thing. Not that it
Yeah.
really matters for a warlock.
Right.
But you do feel like that sickening disease kind of hanging in your chests. And Nahara, it's your turn. You are a storm giant currently, but you are unable to take actions this turn. You did hear Verity, as well as what Seraphina said. What would you like to do, or what are you thinking of if you can't take actions?
I would follow my friend's advice and then follow Verity.
Well, you
When I am able.
When you're able. Okay, cool. Well, your turn ends. You're no longer lethargic, but you have that idea. Evandel,
Mhm.
what are you doing?
He's gonna curse out Seraphina. So we knew all that already. We need to go after whoever summoned it. We need you to tell us where they would do that from. And then he will grab interesting. He will touch Nahara and teleport Nahara sorry. What's the range on this? I'm just looking. Oh, so 60 feet away from this tree. In a glimmer of light, the giant disappears. Unless she's unwilling. Unless Nahara is unwilling.
She is very willing.
Okay, and then he will move with his movement 30 feet away.
Only thing is, what size am I? I'm a huge creature. Can you actually teleport a huge
Yep.
creature with you? Nice.
I didn't go with you. I sent you.
Oh, thank you.
There's a size limit on teleport.
Well,
No,
I mean,
I'm just thinking because you sent Nahara that like you can't send 2 people because the huge hits the size.
it's too chunky for the interdimensional pockets.
But anything else from Evandel?
No.
Seraphina, it is your turn.
I'm gonna head over to where Verity just went.
Okay. As you head over, you would also see the small mole albino stark against the ground. anything else? Any action, bonus action, Seraphina, or do you just move it?
Just movement.
Beautiful. Verity,
Yes.
what are you doing?
Am I at the mall?
Sort of. As you move towards the mole, she's like moving back, and as you get close, like within 5 feet close, you can hear that she's actually talking. You can understand, like, it's not just like a beast speech, like she's speaking words.
Common, Sylvan.
Common.
Okay.
Or at least that's how
Oh,
you're
no.
hearing it.
Okay.
And it's, come on, we must move quickly. I don't want to get caught by that thing.
Yes. Sure. And I'll make sure I relay that to the people following me.
Yeah.
We need to move quick.
So, as the entity stands as a vigilant guardian, it does not seem to pursue. Though... Yeah, no, it'll just stand there. So I'm assuming now everyone is on board with moving after the mole.
Yeah, I mean, if it's brought to our attention.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
Okay.
you heard
Yes.
Verity.
Whimsy.
Elias and Cylindra follow as well, and as you all kind of close in, well, maybe not Nahara as a giant, but you can hear the small voice, and the mole looks around. Okay, this seems a good spot. We're getting out of here, and with a sort of call to the nature spirits, this massive tunnel appears at the will of the mole as she seems to almost shift the earth. It is not large enough to accommodate a giant of your size, Nahara, but for the rest of you, you are easily able to move into the tunnel.
Interrupt my concentration and revert back.
Okay. So you all are able to move into the tunnel, and as soon as you are inside and making your way to safety, this little mole, in the same fashion that she conjured the tunnel, collapses the entrance behind you. So nothing can follow you. At least not without some work on its part. And as you delve deeper into the darkness, our viewpoint shifts. Moonshadow, standing beside the twisted tree and bark and stretched sinew avatar of Invatriel, looking to where the figure of a giant disappeared in the tree line. Should we follow? The avatar twists and turns to the great tree behind them. No, you are my dagger. Pierce the heart and bless this domain with my essence. I will deal with your sister another way. And its bizarrely long arms, clawed fingers, sink into the soil next to its roots, exuding thick, creeping poison into the earth. And it is with that, we're going to take our first ad break. So, hang out with us. We will be right back to continue our story, but before we head out, I ask that you let the ads run. They're important to us at Will the Witch RP and keep our games affordable. If you want to directly support us, however, you can do so through my Ko-fi. Link for that is on screen and in our chat room. Donations to the Ko-fi unlock awesome perks for our entire community, benefiting everyone who play with us for the next month. Those perks include special companions, double treasure, double XP, and new quests. So, hang around. We'll see you soon. Alrighty, we are back, and you are in the tunnel following after this mole who seems to be sort of muttering and tutting to herself, leading you guys through this tunnel. And I'm gonna find some nice tunnel music. Maybe.
You know, it would be good tunnel music.
That would not be good tunnel music.
It really would be, though.
I want something
Noodly?
a little moody.
Something moody.
No, I think we're gonna go with this. So, as you guys move through this tunnel and you're hearing the mole speak, eventually, she talks beyond just herself, loud enough for you all to hear. Terribly sorry. I do wish that I could have introduced myself properly, but time was a bit of the essence. I'm Apricot. I am an emissary of the Lunar Sovereign. And you will do well to follow me.
I'm Verity, and I am certainly following you.
Seraphina's taking this in for a sec, but she will follow as well.
Cylindra seems to be perfectly okay just taking this at face value. Elias a little bit more wary, but staying next to Seraphina.
Yeah, Evandel like balances a thing, although he's gonna give some side eye to Seraphina, like this is information like this would have been nice to know about.
So,
Are you talking about the Archdevil?
Nope, he's not talking. He's just giving side eye. Those are his thoughts.
Oh, okay.
Not the Archdevil, the friggin' white mole emissary.
I don't think anyone knew about this until just now.
Well, they should know it's their realm.
Which she's never been in.
So,
Your shortcomings shouldn't be our problem.
as Apricot leads you, she begins to talk. As you can tell, I do have a idea of where we're going. Not just because I travel underground. You see, the Lunar Sovereign has sent me to assist you all, and we are heading to a place known as the Moonlost Grotto, as you are to recover something very powerful that will be needed to defeat and expunge these invading devils. It's an artifact from the time of the first formation of the Nightvine Bastion, something that only a true follower of the Sovereign can carry. As these words are spoken, go ahead, roll for me survival and insight.
Survival and insight?
Or,
Well, in that case.
poop checks.
Okay. Let's see what Nahara gets. But so
Sorry,
far,
one sec.
you're good. So far, Serafina, Avondale, Verity, and Nahara. Hearing what Apricot is saying, this implies that the situation is dire. If the Sovereign cannot recover the artifact, then it must be entirely consumed in battle to protect the tree. Roll for me now, Arcana or Religion. Serafina and Evandel. The two of you focus a little bit more on those last words. Something that only a true follower of the Sovereign can carry. Your minds think back when entities require true followers to fulfill some task. This often requires some form of tremendous sacrifice or devotion. Just something to think about. You feel yourselves descend the tunnels, following after Apricot, navigating through the darkness. Apricot seems to easily crawl over the tangled roots and rocky grounds, but as you are moving, there are some other dangers posed here. I would like Perception or Arcana checks, please.
Perception or Arcana?
Perception or Arcana.
Oh.
Nahara seems to about to find herself on the more embarrassing end of tripping over some roots before Verity, Serafina, Evandel are able to stop her. There's something wrong with these roots. The ground beneath them, as well as they themselves, are corrupted. Wrong. Seeing this, you are able to carefully navigate the area. But roll for me Insight or Arcana. The entity that was behind the avatar, that creature outside that you were fighting, if what you've seen of this corruption and its power is to be true, it is likely the devil in Vatrium, ruler of Infalagos. And it seems that she knows what you are doing, what you are pursuing, and is trying to hinder and thwart your attempts. You would be wise not to step in the corrupted grounds. Who knows what poisons and diseases they carry and will fester.
I'll absolutely share that information with everyone.
As you continue your travels, keeping wary of more corruption like you'd seen before, what's going through your minds? with this new information of who your enemy could be aligned with, who your enemy truly could be.
Avondale's just recalling various writings and lore that he would have picked up, and just trying to order all the facts that he's learned in the situation and the things he knows about the devil and that, so that when the time comes, he may be able to make inferences.
I think with Serafina, there's just a sadness here, knowing. I think she knows kind of why, well, mostly why this is happening, because maybe her sister, all those years ago, felt slighted because she didn't get what she wanted, and now she's doing all this and hurting others just to get back at her, and it's right. She's gonna put a stop to it.
Verity has a clear understanding of what is happening and what needs to be done next, but is trying to hold on to the whimsy of what is happening in front of her, with this small mole leading them. But there is a quiet vigilance about her.
Nahara's thinking, man, I mean, is this how siblings treat each other? I don't understand. I thought they should, they're supposed to love one another and support one another. I'm just thinking about that in damn tree roots.
Eventually, your paths come to where the tunnels open to a cavern. And here you see the ground giving way to the edges of an underground ocean. It goes on and on into darkness, seemingly infinitely. Go ahead, roll me a perception check as your eyes begin to adjust, however. Verity, it's just a dark, watered, glassy atop. But for the rest of you, it's different. It's not a void. It doesn't just seem to be darkness, but rather it is a expanse, lasting and infinite, like the darkest night sky. Serafina, Nahara, Avondale, roll for me Arcana or Religion.
You're so
Boo.
You get a natural one and it's still a 21. Avondale, it takes a little bit for the sort of, sparks to really click together in your mind, but eventually you piece it together, just about the same time that Serafina and Nahara are. You are looking upon Vale de Voxa, the sea of voices, the astral plane composing all the divine and infernal realms. It seems that Vale de Voxa borders the Nightvine Bastion.
And of course, Avondale's sharing that information in a teacher-like manner.
Very interesting, Elias says, his eyes almost filled with a desire to stay here to learn. But there's not time for that in a battle such as this. Apricot does not seem to be astounded or wondered in the presence of such a magnificent existence. But then again, this is likely Apricot's home. This is normal. She seems to just move along the shoreline, unbothered by the magnificence that you could wade off into, that awaits you in the grand cosmic scheme. Do you follow?
Yeah, Evandel's gonna delicately step his way after, his cloak billowing dramatically.
So it doesn't
Yes.
get lost in the void water?
Hey, I mean,
Verity will follow after Evandel, just slightly rolling her eye.
Flying
Yeah,
through,
Seraphina
careful,
will
you
follow.
might get lost in Evandel's ego.
I follow.
Following Apricot seems to lead you to a dead end as you pass by the shorelines. You stand at a stone wall that seems to be little more than just the natural edge, the barriers of the cavern. But why would Apricot lead you here if there is nothing for you? Perhaps there is more than meets the eye.
It's a trap.
Would you like to roll an investigation to see if it's a trap? Anyone is welcome to roll
Can
an
I detect
investigation.
magic?
If you want to detect magic, sure, but I
Mhm.
remind you that you are in a godly realm.
Oh, that's right. Okay, investigation.
Everything is magic here. Verity, 29. That is a lovely number.
Thank you.
24 is also very good. Would anyone else be rolling an investigation?
Connor is AFK for a minute.
Oh, I didn't have Evandel's roll at that moment either, so I was calling out other people.
Oh, sorry.
You're good. Yeah, you're all able to determine why Apricot has led you here. The wall isn't real. It's illusory. As you pass through and inside of it, you see another cave here. And it glows with a a pale and hazy bioluminescence that comes from these nasal-shaped mushrooms protruding from the rocks. As you see them, roll for me nature or arcana. Verity.
It danced along the 18 and flipped at the last minute. I don't want to hear it.
Nahara, Evandel. You recognize that these are lunar imp noses. They are magical mushrooms They're native to the divine domains associated with lunar entities, as well as Lucina, Velinar's moon. And they release glowing spores. As you look around, you see that the lunar ink noses are not the only thing down here. Within this cavern, hidden away, there's a small underground forest illuminated by the mushrooms, filled with glowing flora, very similar to what you had seen upon the surface of the Nightvine Bastion. Miss Apricot walks in alongside you. Well, this is the Moonlost Grotto. Come along. We mustn't tarry.
Follow.
As you're following after, go ahead, give me some thoughts of yours as you enter through this space. You see that Apricot is leading you to a overgrown temple. Do you think of the strange beauty you find here? Do you think of what could be lying in wait? What are some thoughts of yours?
I think I'm mentally taking notes.
Avondale's just working to see as many details as he can for later record keeping.
Evandel, I would say that with that, just because of your affinity with elven cultures, you would notice something about the overgrown temple as you get closer. It seems to be crafted in the wood elven architectural styles.
Oh, his eyes will widen a little in surprise. This looks like wood elf work.
It is as you cross inside the temple. Seraphina,
Yes.
you feel, rather than hear it, a voice in your mind. You come to a place of ends and beginnings, where one life ceases to be and another emerges, no more or less, but changed. Leave behind that which divides you. Embrace that which fulfills the destiny you choose.
It's a lot to take in. And I'm the only one that heard that. Nobody else heard that, right?
That was just in your mind. And yet, as you sort of hear that and you start to try and process, you hear the voice, feel it really continue. Here is the place where dawn sleeps, and the night dreams of a time when light and life began. And then your mind is... it doesn't have that presence. It seems to be fully your own once again. it'd be after this conversation, Seraphina, and the rest of you would notice where Apricot is staring at Seraphina and sniffing in her direction. Seraphina, it's almost as if Apricot knows something has happened here.
I'll ask Apricot, did you hear that as well?
I didn't hear anything, darling.
There was a voice in my head. I don't know who it was, but
Well, like I said before, we mustn't tarry. There are challenges waiting ahead. Challenges above ground that wait for no one.
yes, of course, sorry. And then we'll press on.
As your group travels further into the temple, for a brief moment our view shifts. Unbeknownst to any of you, unbeknownst to even Apricot, following the echoes of your footsteps, dark tendrils of corruption slink along, all the way into the moon-lost grotto. The inky, sinuous entities slither along, drifting up along the walls and vanishing into the temple. The ancient temple here is shrouded in vines and glowing flora that aid in the lighting of that hazy mist. And you are approached by this figure inside, draped in these flowing robes of celestial blue and silver. This ethereal figure. There's a luminescent veil obscuring her features. It shimmers of reflections of distant stars and the outlines of impressions of faces. She extends a palm in welcoming. And her voice, feminine, reaches out towards you all. Welcome. I am Keeper Zelfindaris. If you are to proceed forward, you must be cleansed. Only then may you enter the cradle.
Sorry, cleansed?
You are standing in a most holy space. There is a bathing pool. Follow me. And this very ethereal, almost translucent figure begins to drift, guiding you along. And the bathing pool that she brings you to is more like a shimmering pond. And you see the still waters as it waits, and she just extends that same palm towards the waters.
Serafina will go first.
Is this a one at a time sort of thing, or
Each of you may step in together, but your cleansing will be solitary.
Is it watery or not watery?
It is...
Oh no, I mean out of character. What am I looking at here?
It's a shimmering pond. It looks to be water.
Okay. Don't make it weird, but Evandel's stripping down.
lovely? I will step in after Serafina.
That's gonna be a visual. Because I know it's coming up, and
Oh no.
this is gonna be great. So each of you are invited to step inside. And you know what? Why don't we begin with Serafina's cleansing?
Oh no.
Oh, man.
As you step into the waters, you see the ripples moving out from you and from the others that follow after you. And it's entrancing almost. You've never quite fallen into a state of enrapture by just the simple ripples of water, but as you look closer, these are no simple ripples. Each one a brushstroke, painting along the pictures until you are falling into the manifestation, the illusion, the cleansing. The rest of you outside of this just see Serafina sinking beneath the water. But Serafina, you are home. You see your parents. But it's strange. This isn't the bonding ceremony that you remember. Your parents, while they are here, you are, in their words and their eyes, some usurper, a cruel tyrant. You feel a pang in your chest. Is this really how it was? Serafina, I want you to roll for me either a wisdom or charisma save. "17 is successful. Why don't you paint a picture to me of how, Serafina, you confront the knowledge that this isn't real, this isn't how it happened, as you confront this darkness?
I know this isn't real because I've talked with many times before. They all about this. They were at the ceremony when the bonding happened. I saw the smiles on their faces. They've never talked to me like that. So know in my heart this is not real.
Is your piercing through this, you start to see fragments of truth beneath that. As you try and pick up on the fragments, roll for me an insight check. Natural 20. It's almost like collecting fragments of a broken bowl or plate. As you begin to piece them together, what you see is a memory. Some dark figure speaking to your parents. They don't look as cruel as they had in that strange manifestation, but you can hear the echoes of the conversation. This entity telling your parents that you would be the sole holder of a lunar thorn staff. There would be none like you. And with a 21 on your insight check, you think that this perhaps is some entity in service to Invatriel, or maybe even the devil herself, deceiving your parents, trying to keep you separate, alone, cut off from the others who might help you. It seems that this was a plot laid long before you even knew of its existence. And in the fragments, as they begin to break away, you see another memory. Smaller. A failed attempt to corrupt you. But a shifting of attention to one whose spirit was a little more broken, a little more malleable. Dark entity turning to Alara. Verity.
Mm-hmm.
You were the next to move into the pool. What would Verity's largest doubt be at this current time? What shakes her to her core?
In general,
In general, yeah.
not being able to keep up this balance that she is, this balancing act that she has created for herself between her house and her work with the Mortal Guardians and all the relationships involved in each.
as you find yourself in the same entrancing of the ripples of this water, you find yourself standing in your home in Vale de Ferra. Paperwork everywhere. Some of it personal, some of it business, some of it dealing with your state. Invitations to different galas and events, fundraisers. Others asking for ways to improve staffing. There's a contract that's come from the Mortal Guardians that you've been asked to partake in because your skill set would be well suited for the tasks at hand, but it's clashing along with other duties that are asking of your attendance. All the while, you have Sindri trying to organize time for the two of you to be together, and your brother asking for another visit, and it is everything all beginning to pile up, beginning to fall. You are feeling overwhelmed. And I'm going to ask for you to make for me either a charisma or wisdom save. 24 is a success. Very as strenuous and stressful as things could get, you know that there is an understanding, not just in a personal level, but between the Mortal Guardians and your household staff and others. It would never get this far. You would never be demanded so much. With that knowledge, how do you convince yourself of the falsities of this illusion? How do you break out of its darkness?
I think I have to just repeat to myself, remind myself of my support system. Sindri, Oravan, Hithway, even, Kira, everyone who has helped me so much in everything.
Evandel.
Yes.
What is Evandel's biggest doubt? What is the thing that sort of shakes him?
I think his concern, because he's thrown himself fully into doing everything he can for the Mortal Guardians. I think the concern at the back of his mind is that for all the changes he makes to himself and what he has to do to be a successful Mortal Guardian, his worry is that when he finally goes back to his family, like his parents and his brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles, that he won't be himself, or he won't be recognizable to them.
All I am imagining right now, and it's just because you're like, yeah, Evandel's tripping, is the nightmare of arriving to school in your underwear for a big test.
No, that doesn't. The nudity doesn't particularly bother Everdell.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Although
just
in that context, in the context of his fear, it certainly doesn't help.
yeah. It's just I want you to know that that has been what has been painted in my mind. Uh. So yeah.
I think he'd be one of those like hip forward strolling into class people.
Yeah. real tits forward of him. Um, God. So as you fall into your own sort of meditation and manifestation of your minds, your worries, the more darkest thoughts, really, the ruminations, you find yourself coming home. And there is this hero's welcome that is lying in wait. But as you arrive, faces of family and friends stare at you, confused, searching, as if they're trying to find you, Evandel, under all of your armor and your experience in your skin, and they're left wanting. Their smiles, but your insight over your adventures is long enough to see that they're not really fully there. The interest is played along for your benefit. Roll for me a charisma or wisdom saving throw. A 21 is enough to succeed. You're able to tell the sort of false narratives here, pick up on the just slightly off reactions of people you knew closely. What does it look like when you break free and convince yourself that this is not how it should be?
I think he looks at everyone and recognizes, because he does a lot of introspection. I think he has subtly reaffirmed that his base fears and doubts haven't changed, like that nothing new has come in to surprise him. So he's somewhat familiar with his own shortcoming in this area, so he's able to look past it.
All right. And Nahara. As Nahara, you find yourself drifting in. You are in your uncle's home, where you grew up, since your father was always out traveling. It's quiet. Most of the house staff have sort of gone off to their duties. And you find yourself wandering through the halls when you hear the front door open. And you hear the deep, familiar laugh of your father. Your feet take off, leading you towards him. And then you stop, pausing, because you see your father isn't laughing in a good nature of whatever has brought him back from his business here. He's in his best clothing, beside a woman a few years younger than him, in her best clothing, wrapped up in each other. And then he looks to you, and the mirth seems to fall. As you look down, you can see matching rings, and it seems your father has just gotten married. You hadn't even known of it. Not until now. And there is a confusion over the face of his new wife as she looks at you. It's back to him. Don't worry about her. I don't.
Oh my god.
Roll for me a wisdom or charisma saving throw here. "13 is not quite enough. Nahara, this is not what you expected when your father returned. He may have thought of it on your worst days and the worst nights, but now seeing it in front of you, what's going through your mind?"
That all my fears that my father hated me, that's why he never returned, has come true. That I was unworthy of his love. Yeah.
As Nahara begins to down spiral, Seraphina, Verity, Avondale, you break out of the water. You'd been down not even long enough for your lungs to begin to start grasping for air, just enough for the waters to wash over you. You've broken free. But as you look around, you see Nahara, still under the waters. She seems perhaps trapped in whatever vision is being shown to her, and may need some help getting out of it.
Is it proper to the sanctity of this place to help?
The entity nearby just seems to be watching over.
Can I reach her?
Yes.
Is she terribly far? I would just reach down and open her hand and place my unicorn inside of it and close it tight and hold it there.
For mechanics, I want Verity to roll me a persuasion check.
Mm-hmm. 23.
Nahara, as your mind continues to tell you horrible things, as you see the face of these two figures, your father and this stranger that he has brought to your uncle's home, you feel a warmth. Your hand feels warm. And you're able to remake your saving throw, wisdom or charisma. And to remember you have a unicorn with you. You can add a d4.
I don't want to hear it!
Oh my goodness.
I would like to ask, would I be close enough to give her one of my d12s from my staff?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay, Rudy, gonna add a d12.
Oh my
16?
B16. You are able to see the small cracks in this pantomime. This isn't right. And while you may have been fooled for just a moment before, you start to pull away that spider veil, pulling the pieces, the threads. How do you break free of the grasp of this illusion?
I remember my friends and my love and respect for them and theirs for me. and realize that, you know what, I don't need his love or his approval to live my life.
Just as your lungs start to uh, get tight, grasping for air, Nahara breaks out of the water. And as you each have come out of your visuals, these things, you see the long tunnel that gleams ahead of you. Ivy and Evandel, you're able to put your armor back on.
Dry himself off first. Doesn't want to get it all mussed up.
Zelfindaris, the ethereal figure here, she speaks. At the end of this space, you shall meet the Seed Guardian, Solithriel. Though harsh, she is ancient. She is wise. She will guide you on your journey for the Sovereign. Her memories will aid your toils. Through her power, you can claim that which the Sovereign requires, that which brings change. And when you are ready, you can make your way through that tunnel. Long, not entirely dark due to the glowing flora, and proceed to the Moonseed Cradle. It is when all of you have entered in and begun your descent. And Zelfindaris returns to the upper chambers of the grotto, leaving you to whatever fate is in front of you. And we will have to see what that fate is after our upcoming ad breaks. So, stick around with us while we take our ad break here. Let the ads run. They're very important to us here at World of Witch RP. They help keep our games affordable. However, if you want to directly support us, you can always do so through my Ko-fi. Link for that is on screen and in our chat room. Ko-fi donations not just support your GM with much needed caffeine, they also unlock awesome perks for our entire community, perks that benefit every player for the next month. They include special companions, double treasure, double XP, new quests, all sorts of fun things. A full list is available on our Discord. So, hang around. We'll be back to continue our story here very shortly. And we are back. We return as you've descended and enter the Moonseed Cradle, a place from which the Sovereign itself arose in ages past. You see this mystical cavern, a low basin filled with knee-deep glimmering water, much like the Moonflower Pond that you cleansed yourself in moments ago. Above the surface of the waters, a hazy mist hovers. And at the far end, you see this glowing, bowl-shaped nest of vines and mushrooms. And in the center, shining a bright bulb, radiating with the light of the dawn. There, next to the cradle, however, The ancient guardian. Solithriel. You know her name. She watches. As you get closer, roll for me perception checks based on hearing, please. Verity, Seraphina, Nahar. You hear the soft, somber humming that seems to come from this ancient being. The tune seems to be a dirge. You approach this radiant figure. With each step you approach the cradle. Her skin resembles the moonlit petals in shimmering waters. It seems to radiate the light outwards. The form similar to Zelfindare's, almost translucent, though there is a staff in her hands. She has more, it seems, physicality than her counterpart. And you see translucent wings upon her back. But you would also notice upon the right side of her body that light is not as bright. Perhaps it is just because she faces away from you and you only see what is presented towards you. But what do you do as you approach and hear the somber tune that she hums? And she stares at the cradle, almost unaware of your presence.
Should we interrupt her?
Yes.
I mean, if Evandel says yes, I'll clear my throat. Pardon?
As you speak, this figure does not look up to you. She responds, however. Vacate your purpose. Return to the surface. Stand by the sovereign.
But aren't we here under the Sovereign's orders? She sent Apricot to get the thing from here.
You hear a snarl as this guardian turns to face you, and you see it now. That dimmed light from the right side, you see blackness beginning to crawl over the radiant form. Vacate your purpose and return to the sovereign. And as she says this, I want you all to roll for me initiatives. Avondale.
Hey, listen, he's a little thrown off still.
So it will be 30. And then after Verity, Nahara, Serafina, Silithriel, and Avondale. Verity,
Yes.
you are the first to act.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
Question.
Answer.
With a passive insight of 18, would I be able to surmise that she's being influenced by this rot?
I'd say that would be a fairly apt interpretation based on your insight.
Okay. Um, with that, um, is there anything that I could do to figure out a way to help her with that situation?
Seeing that the corruption is not fully enveloped in her body,
Mm.
you may still be able to reach out to her. Perhaps through persuasion or intimidation. You may be able to even gain information from the corruption with creative acts of deception.
Mm.
It seems that right now you are, while she is still radiant, able to assist in the battle of wills that Silithriel fights inside of herself.
We will not retreat, first of all. Secondly, you're not quite yourself. Are you aware? I'm sure you're lovely outside of what's happening. Maybe we need to look at within yourself.
It sounds like a persuasion check to me.
I was hoping. 27.
Nice.
Thank you.
There is a bit of pause given. Your words may seem to have touched somewhere within this guardian.
And just so I'm aware, has it been an hour? Just in case.
I will say that you still have your starlights above you.
Thank you.
It will be any bonus actions from Verity?
No, not at the moment.
It will be Nahara's turn next. All right. With Nahara, your words of the corruption ahead, asking for its guidance and acquiescence as you're here to help. Go ahead, roll for me a persuasion check. Ooh. I will say that you still have the unicorn. Verity did not take that back.
Mm-mm.
And I'll give her a D12 just for good measure.
Okay. 17. Well, there's no immediate response from the... God, I hate that. There's no immediate response from the Guardian. You don't know if that is good or bad. It may still be playing into those internal battles and arguments. Or it may be fighting against them. Only time will tell. Seraphina.
I'm gonna try and make a persuasion attempt here. I'm gonna speak to it here. You know your purpose here, and we have our purpose here. I know you would not willingly deny or put a follower of the Sovereign. We are only here to help. We need the artifact. I'll make a persuasion check.
Go for it.
28.
Anything else on your turn? Any bonus actions?
That's it.
Salathiel's turn comes. And there is pain on her face. For a moment, she speaks. And it was without that fury before or the somber tone. It is with desperation. Invatriel seeks the seed. Not just the corruption of this realm. She is intending to create a new realm from its ashes. Use the Lunarthorn trees corrupted is a lattice and the seed of lunar light. What? The corruption comes quickly. And I believe you will have to fight me, but I will make it so that you can win. And with her last remaining control of herself, her staff covered in these blossoms of lunar light, radiating power, she grips it in both hands and snaps it, shattering it, leaving her without a weapon as the rest of the darkness consumes across her. Evandel,
Mm-hmm.
it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Can I see the particular artifact we came to get?
It's probably whatever that glowing thing is at the end of the basin.
Okay, so I'm gonna as a bonus action, I can where the heck? Bonus action? Oh, I don't know if you can use gust on items. Or not telekinetic shove, sorry. No, one creature. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, you know what? I'm gonna attempt to go over there and bat it to Seraphina with the flat of his blade.
So, okay. The seed, seems to be perhaps maybe a little more delicate, and there is now a fully corrupted guardian where Seraphina is close to.
Yeah.
So, the seed doesn't seem to be an artifact of like a weapon. It seems to be like a little power source. So, if that would change your intentions here.
Yeah, I don't want to handle it. I should leave someone perhaps more knowledgeable. So I'm gonna go ahead and smack the guardian around and maybe get her attention on me.
Heck yeah, go for it. I should probably put on battle music. Do I have spooky battle music?
does
Mm,
does a 26 hit?
Oh yeah, 26 is gonna hit.
Okay, let's go ahead and get that. I'm gonna throw a D12 defensive on there because I don't want whatever she's handing out. So an extra 10 and damage on top of the 16, and then the second hit, 22.
22 will hit.
Okay, for 11 points. And that's it for me.
With that, it is going to come then to the top of the round with Verity. Your turn.
great. We'll send a guiding bolt over. So 21 to hit.
Yeah, 21 will hit.
Okay, that's 33 radiant, and she is glowing.
Cool.
I already know what you're going to say.
Do you?
I have a feeling.
It does seem that
Mm,
she does not take the full radiant damage.
yeah, I figured. Hey, why don't you try and hit me? I have something to say to you.
Would you like to roll an intimidation check?
To you? Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
I do have advantage. It's a 19.
I'll keep that in mind.
Okay.
Nahara's turn will come up. Is there any bonus actions from Verity first?
You know what? Yes, I'll throw a star. It's a natural 20.
Yeah, that'll hit.
There's no way I can do math. It's a base of 48
Okay.
plus that.
15, 18, 24.
Let's say like
So-
60 something.
24 plus 48 is...
72.
There we go.
It's close.
Math. I can remember my times tables. And as that happens, Nahara's turn comes up. It's at the far end of this basin. Vortex warp is 90 feet. You might be able to get Seraphina close, but again, the artifact is more of a power source and not quite a weapon, if that would change your intentions here. It doesn't seem to perhaps be able to fit. Alright, Seraphina, you are being targeted by Nahara's Vortex Warp to get you closer to the artifact. Do you go along with it, or do you resist?
I will accept it.
Okay. So you are 20 feet away from the base. 90 feet away from the fight that is happening with the fully corrupted Guardian. And it is the end of Nahar's turn and the start of your turn, Seraphina.
Alright, so with the Vortex Warp, I'm about, what, not 20 feet away, you said?
You are 20 feet away from the artifact, which is just... It's a glowing seed. It doesn't seem to be much. But you still have the entity that is fighting your companions. Now that it is fully given into corruption, you don't think that there's going to be any reasoning with her.
Alright. Even though I'm 90 feet away, my Eldritch Blast has a range 120 feet, so could I pump 4 shots of Eldritch Blast into this entity?
100% you can.
Awesome, I will do that. So the first shot is a 30 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
For 12 damage. The second shot is a 28 for 13 damage. Shot number 3 is a 32 for 16 damage. And then the last shot is a 28 for 10 damage.
Okay.
That is my turn.
Let me just double check. Okay, cool. It is our Guardian's turn. Solithria. And Slithriel is going to Evandel is the closest to her.
Hey, hey.
So she is going to try and attack you. That is going to be a 27 to hit.
It misses. As he dances around.
And then her second attack is a 21, so you're still safe. However, I want a wisdom saving throw from Evandel as well.
Oh, boo.
Let me see.
26.
The dirge hum song comes towards your mind once again and almost fills you with this melancholy, this paralysis, but you are able to resist. And then it is your turn, Evandel.
Right. He'll give a cheeky wink and slash this thing up a little bit.
Go for it.
All right. Oh wow, and that one that misses.
Unfortunately
And
misses.
like you're not supposed to prolong the wink. It's a wink. For 15, and I'll add another defensive flourish to this because I still don't want what she's handing
Oh yeah, no, you don't want it at all.
out. So for an extra 8.
Alright, she's starting to look a little hurt here, but she's still well within her fighting condition.
And that's it for me.
Alright. Verity, we come to your turn.
Mm-hmm. How far away am I from her?
15 feet.
Great. We'll send a witch bolt. And that's a 30 to hit.
Yeah.
Cool. That's 37 lightning.
Okay. Anything else?
Can I send a star with witch bolt connected?
Yeah, Witch Bolt's only stipulation is that you have to use your action to continue the damage.
25.
Yeah.
That's a lot of big numbers. For 35 radiant.
Which gets halved down to 17. Cool. Verity, your turn will come to an end as Nahara's turn comes forward, and as an 8th level Disintegrate comes out, it's going to use its legendary resistance and succeed on that save.
Nice.
Ooh.
It's a lovely amount of damage, though.
I can hear her yelling from here.
Oh, yeah. I believe that'll be the end of Nahara's turn. And Serafina, we come to your turn.
I'm gonna do what I did last time, just from distance. So I don't want to touch the seed quite yet. Just pump 4 more shots at Eldritch Blast from range.
Hell yeah, go for it.
All right, shot number 1. Say natural 20.
Hell yeah.
So that is a base of 18 plus 5. So 23 points of damage on the first shot. Second shot. Oh, that rolled off another 20. That was a
Ooh.
35 to hit.
That
which I
hits.
assume, well, okay. For 16 damage. Shot number 3 is a 26
Yep.
for 17 damage. And then the last shot is another natural 20.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So 18 plus a full 10, so that's 28 damage on the last shot.
Serafina. You do 1 point of overkill.
Ooh.
Would you like to paint a picture here?
I would love to. Now, she knows this is a necessity, but again, this is a little bit of sadness watching what happened. Her snapping her staff and watching the corruption take over. But even knowing that, she knows she has to do this, so she just fires off these 4 blasts, with the last one having the maximum effect.
As the last blast of energy strikes into Celestial, you see for a moment the figure turning towards you, Serafina, and reaching out. And similar to what you experienced before, there is this presence in your mind, a telepathic speech, and you hear Celestial. Go. Make whole that which has been tarnished. Restore. Let new life flourish. Serafina, you are the closest to the seed. Do you run for it?
Yes, I do.
You touch the glowing seed in the basin. And as you do, around you, the tension seems to disappear. You are drawn into a vision, quick as a heartbeat. Darkness begins to encircle you, Serafina. You hear the terrified voice of your sister, Alara, calling out to you, crying for mercy. But that heartbeat is gone, and you see a glimmer of Moonshadow's furious face and a knife rushing straight towards you. And I think that's a great place for us to end our session.
No.
So, thank you to our players for playing. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you to our viewers for viewing. I hope you guys enjoyed that as well. I'll see you guys in our next stream, but until then, head over to wildawitch.com. Check us out there. Join us in our Discord to jump in a game yourself and keep up to date with all of our announcements. If you want to check out more, we have VODs over on our YouTube. But as always, may the ever-burning light forever guide your steps. Laters.